Obviously, we're not very good. Air Force out-physicaled us, which is really disappointing. The first half, we practiced all week long to get under dives and get under traps, and we still didn't do that a very good job, so we didn't coach them good enough on defense. And we're not good enough on defense yet to be so bad on offense and not get first downs. I think we only had one first down in the first half on Terry's option play. We're not good enough to self-destruct, jump off sides, hold, things that are correctable. But it's a trend now because it's happened over a 3-week period. So that's coaching. So starting with me, we have to coach them better to give them a chance because we have enough talent to be competitive. We don't have enough talent to self-destruct and be competitive, as you saw out there tonight. Set down 17-0, we have an opportunity to fumble, get on that ball on the 30-yard line, and we might have an opportunity to change the game. We don't make that play. We tried to scoop it up, and instead of cradling it, which are in traffic, we should cradle it, so we need to coach them better there. The only positive is they've got the competitive spirit to fight. Didn't quit till the end. In the second half on defense, we had opportunities to get off the field numerous times on third down and couldn't quite make a play. And then they had the long one that broke. That was really disappointing because we were playing them pretty good. We came out, the only opportunity we had was to play straight man coverage because we weren't getting enough support in zone coverage. So when you play straight man coverage, if one guy doesn't make a play, it's a 70-yard touchdown. And that's what happened. One guy didn't get over. We did not play nearly fast enough in the secondary. Once again, that's my fault because we obviously didn't prepare him for how fast it was going to be. It took way too long to get used to the speed. We had a couple, a true freshman out there and a couple guys that saw it for a half last year. So I'm really disappointed because I thought we'd be more competitive tonight. We've got to fix the offense. We can't continue to go down that path, and so we'll fix it. And this is. I told Coach Calhoun, give me some time because we'll have a competitive football team that'll have a chance to beat you. People will get tired of hearing it. The marathon, not a sprint phase. It's reality. We've got to continue to recruit kids. We got to continue to coach them and give them a chance. But this is kind of, It's really frustrating, and I know how frustrating it is to our fans. I'm really proud of the people that were here tonight. It was a great crowd. A lot of them stayed to the very end, which is positive, and I'm very appreciative of that. We're going to keep working to get better. Go ahead, Brandon.
Offensively, Coach, penalties aside, what was holding them back the most in the first half after Air Force was having those long drives?
Well, we weren't tackling the fullback on defense, which made them. They were getting chunk plays there, and they were able to get down there and score touchdowns. And then we come out and we weren't blocking them good enough up front to get any kind of movement off the ball. The very first series, we go 3 and out. The second series, we get a little positive traction with Terry runs the ball. They had an option play that he comes down the right sideline for some positive yards, and then we get a penalty. We're not good enough to overcome 2nd and 15. We're not. And a 2nd and 15 penalty for jumping off sides is catastrophic right now. And we're not good enough to do that. So we've got to change the fine details of something that we're doing in the football office, because when you have a detail missing on the football field, we're allowing it somewhere else. So we need to shore that up, and that's coaching. We've got to play perfect to have a chance to be successful right now. And we're not even coming close to doing that. Sure.
I think that you're very well spoken, and I think that you're a very good coach, and that you can actually lead your team to where you're designing it to be.
I appreciate that. We'll get there. It's a long process, but we will get there.
We're on deadline. Let's let the media get it.
Go ahead.
What exactly is wrong with the offense? You mentioned making changes aside from tonight.
We're not blocking them well enough up front, first off. And if we're not blocking them well enough with the 5 guys, especially in pass protection, in the end there, we were leaving the running back and at times the tight end in. We left the quarterback and tight end, the running back and tight end in on the first series of the second half after we forced them to punt, and they had us backed up. And we have an assignment mistake, and they cut somebody loose, and Terry has to scramble and gets tackled on the 3-yard line. once again, we're self-destructing. So we've got to coach them better. We're not good enough to, I can't say enough, we're not good enough to make mistakes and not be perfect. And so to be able to throw the ball, we're going to have to leave guys in there. And it helped having Manny back. It helped having Andrew back tonight. They made a couple plays in the second half. It'll hurt missing Bobby next week, but we've got to continue to fix the minute details, the jumping off sides, the holdings. Those are the things that are killing us right now. Outside of, it's not the X and O's. We've got guys that are open, but we can't get it to them because we don't protect them long enough. The one down in the second half when we could have made it 31-14, we get the ball after Luke's, the one they reviewed, we go backwards 30 yards. We got to throw that ball away and give him a little bit more time. The first one, they were on him so quick, I don't blame him, but the second one, we got to throw it away. We just can't self-destruct. And so we can fix those things with protection issues, but we're not good enough to go fast and make mistakes. So we're going to have to slow down a little bit and do some of those things.
Yeah, explain Air Force's dominance, especially this past team.
They're better than us. They're better than us. We playing the triple option is a tough man's game, and I told our football team in the locker room, they're tougher than you are. They're tougher than us. I shouldn't say you are. I'm a part of it. They're tougher than we are. And this is that kind of game. It's the kind of football team that we're building. It's the program we're building is off of blue-collar, tough guys. And I don't think people are naturally tough. Some are. The majority of them aren't. They have to convince themselves that they're going to be a tough guy. And it comes through the process of everything we do in here in this weight room, out on the field, the way we practice, the way we do things fast speed, the way we transition from drill to drill. It's everything. It's the way we take the field when we come out of the meeting room. It's the way we go from punt team to scout team. It's everything that creates that attitude. And stuff like I talked about after the first game. When we tell them to run off the field during practice and they stop 3 yards short, that's a fine detail that we're cutting loose, so we send them back and make them do it again. The problem is right now the coaches are making those corrections. It hadn't caught on yet for the older guys to make those. Well, as soon as your football team, your good players and your leaders start making those corrections, you have a chance because there's some toughness in a guy. People don't like to be disliked. And when you call out a buddy or a friend or a teammate, you might worry about them not liking you. Well, we need more guys that don't care if people like them or not. That's culture, that's toughness. And what they'll understand is their teammates people crave discipline. Your own kids crave discipline. Well, if you have a buddy or a teammate that gets after you, if you get defensive, that means that you don't believe in the process or you're not tough enough and secure enough in yourself. So the older guys, as soon as they start doing it, then we will change that dimension of it. That's why Air Force beat us, because we're not tough enough. And the offense that they run, and they're pretty good on defense, but the offense they run, if you're not a tough guy, you got no shot at stopping it. Schematically, it wasn't an X's and O's issue tonight on defense. We didn't react fast enough in the secondary, and we didn't play physical enough up front. So we got to coach them better.
You rushed for almost 300 yards against Fresno State. You got 4 starters back on the O-line.
Not having Teton out there hurts. We haven't found a right tackle yet. We're playing. Unfortunately, we're playing musical chairs on that position. I had a meeting with the offense last week about this. Teton was obviously unappreciated the last 2 weeks. He didn't play very good at the beginning of the year, probably partially because our first game against San Jose State, we hadn't had a full team practice yet. And then we have a fall camp, and Teton got better. He wasn't very good at the beginning. And then he was really good at the last 2 games. When you have an opportunity, when you have a side that's dominating, and Teton and Isaac were playing really good at the end of last year, it opens it up for those other guys because now you have plays that are available when you have counters that come back and when Isaiah was doing those things. Isaiah's first football practice back was Thursday since fall camp. Hopefully he'll be fully cleared this week. That doesn't mean that there's no quarterback controversy here. Terry's our starting quarterback. But when you have a right side that's dominant and can get aggressive movement on the ball, and we can run it that way, well, now we have a right tackle position where we're trying to figure out who it is, and Isaac and Leke inside there at the right guard are trying to make up for mistakes because we're not good enough at that position yet. It makes a tremendous difference. And so now we're trying to rely on Kyle and Austin and Cade and they're not playing good enough, but we're not good enough to overcome mistakes from one side and then the other side starts pressing when we make mistakes. So it makes a pretty significant difference when you have a guy that's now in the NFL that was playing really good the last 2 weeks, and we haven't been able to replace him yet. Now, Jack Buford, he does some really, really good things at times, and he does some knucklehead things at times. Ben Davis just hobbled up a little bit with his ankle. He wasn't able to play really much tonight. He might have had a couple snaps. Jack's going to be a really good player, but Jack is like the rest of our young guys. The first two classes, we have some talent. The older guys, there's some guys in there that are we have enough talent to be competitive if we don't kill ourselves. And right now we're killing ourselves. So that's coaching. What else? Trey right now gives us the best chance to he's too good of an athlete to stand on the sideline. So he's going to play. Now he still has to practice at quarterback because between him and CJ, they're both our backup quarterback. As we get more comfortable with CJ being good, Trey can help us on the football team. I mean, that touchdown catch he made in the first touchdown, that was an unbelievable catch. Terry threw it behind him a little bit. Unbelievable adjustment on the route. He does some things on the fly motion things. Now, we made mistakes. We didn't send him in fly motion one time. I mean, those are the kind of things I'm talking about. But Trey Hall is too good of an athlete to stand over there on the sideline, and he wants to play. I mean, his first 3 years in high school, he was a wide receiver and a DB, and then he was the best athlete on their team, so they moved him to quarterback in the senior year, and that's why he did some of those things tonight, and we'll continue to use him out there.